Hello and welcome to this special presentation on Rajya Sabha television. This is our election special show, Rajyanama India Votes 2019. And today we are in the eastern state of Odisha and Odisha's capital Bhubaneswar. Now Odisha has both the assembly as well as Lok Sabha polls this time around. That is a simultaneous polling for 147 assembly seats and 21 parliamentary constituencies in the state. We'll get to know the results on 23rd of May after the fourth phase of polling here is done. But today we will talk about the issues which are very important to the people of Odisha and what are the political parties here have to offer to the voters of Odisha. So let's begin by introducing our guest today. With me on my left is Mr. Lenin Mohanty, the spokesperson of the Biju Janata Dal, the ruling party in the state of Odisha for more than 2 decades now, almost 19 years continuously. And we also have with us Dr. Lekha Shri Samant Singar, the spokesperson of the BJP and the secretary of the state unit of the party. The BJP has emerged as the main challenger to the ruling BJD here in the state. And then we have with us Mr. Rajni Mohanty, the spokesperson of the Congress as well, a party which used to be in power in the state long back and is now trying to go ahead and revive itself in the state. Then we have with us Mr. Dilip Bishoi, the senior journalist. He's a columnist as well. He writes articles for several newspapers. And we have Mr. Kulmani Mishra, a political analyst and a columnist again, writes for several newspapers and several publications. And we're also joined by a good gathering of audience here, people from all walks of life, the youngsters, the senior citizens, and those who want to know from these political leaders as to what is on offer for them in terms of the works which will be done by these parties if their representatives are elected to the assembly or to the parliament. So let's begin the show. And my first question to you is, Mr. Mohanty, Mr. Lenin Mohanty, because your party has been in power here for 19 long years with Mr. Naveen Patnaik at the helm of affairs as chief minister. What is it that your party's agenda is this time around? What is it that you are asking people to vote for your party?
Basically, at the outset, I would like to welcome all the guests who have attended this wonderful discussion program. I would like to welcome all my colleagues who are here attending this program. Thanks a lot to you. The only thing that we have asked very categorically, my leader says that my work speaks. I did not howl. I did not scream. My work will speak. Over the period of last 20 years, almost 2 decades, as you said very nicely, initially for the first 9 years, we were joined by BJP, who was our partner while we were governing for the first 9 years. Subsequently, the rest, because of an incident in Kandhamal, we have been running our own government for the remaining part of the 2 decades that you have mentioned here. The first thing that I would like to speak out before you, that there is growth, and the growth is inclusive. There is an inclusive growth wherein we are thinking of all the aspects. We think about the general population, we think about the youths, we think about the women, we think about the Adivasis, and for them we have a lot of programs. Okay. For health facility, we have Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana. For people who were not included because of the center's decision not to include them in the Food Security Act scheme, we provided food to 25 lakh additional people out of our own funds to empower the people, to empower the ladies in the state. We have a strong strength of 70 lakh self-help group, and I would just like to say that the double engine theory spoken by BJP doesn't seem to work in a state like Odisha. Okay. Because we believe if Gujarat didn't need a double engine theory when Mr. Narendra Modi, the present Prime Minister, was in power in Gujarat, why does Odisha need a double engine? Okay. Because with a single engine, we are performing better, we are cruising at a very top speed, and people are with us. We are with the people. We tell the people that we have given you a efficient government, a government which is concerned for the last 2 decades. Okay. You help us rebuilding the state, and we call it to build a Sasakt Odisha. The people need BJD again.
Okay, so quite a lot of issues which you mentioned and compared Odisha with Gujarat as well to trying to counter that double engine theory which BJP has been putting in place. Let's go across to Dr. Lekashri from the BJP. Dr. Lekashri, BJP has interestingly come up as the main challenger to the BJD in a very short span of time. And there are several star campaigners of your party campaigning in the state, crisscrossing the state, going from places to places. What is it that your agenda is as far as your party's agenda is as far as Odisha is concerned?
See, we believe that Odisha is a land of immense possibilities. It has, if you see India in totality, Odisha is the #1 state when it comes to mining reserves, when it comes to natural resources, when it comes to human resources. But despite all this, Naveen Patnaik's government has ruled the state for 20 years but has failed on all counts. As of today, only 2% people in the state have piped drinking water. Less than 50% have access to clean toilets. Education is an all-time low. There are various grades of teachers who are not even getting their salaries. There are various grades of government officials who are not getting salaries. Today also the sanitary workers are sitting on dharna, doctors, teachers, all kinds of people sitting on dharna. The health situation is in shambles. The Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana about which my esteemed colleague from Biju Janata Dal was speaking is a nothing. There are no doctors in the hospitals. There is acute shortage of doctors. There are no medicines available.
Okay.
Most of the primary health centers and community health centers don't even have X-ray machines, MRI machines, CAT scans,
Okay.
nothing. And no rural infrastructure. Youth are not getting jobs. They have to go to other states, starting from Uttar Pradesh to Tamil Nadu. For even they are doing bonded labor,
Okay.
and the maximum number of bonded laborers are from the Chief Minister's home constituency and home district itself,
Okay,
Ganjam. Let me finish, please, 1 second. Women, the condition of women is at an all-time low. Every day there is an issue of a rape or a gang rape, and the Chief Minister has not opened his mouth on any of these rapes ever.
Okay.
Last 1 year there have been 50 rapes. More than 10,000 girls, minor girls, have been kidnapped, abducted, are being sold in other states. The Chief Minister does not open his mouth on these issues.
Okay.
Farmers are committing suicide. There is no water to their lands. There is no irrigation.
So
Despite repeated promises by the state government, by Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik, so they have failed on all counts. And it's only Bharatiya Janata Party whose development agenda can fulfill all this. That is why, as you said, in a very short span of time, BJP has emerged as a challenger. It's only because the people of Odisha have put their voice with our voice. It is resonating among them, and they
Okay.
believe what we are saying is true. That is why they have come up as the biggest challenger. It is not us. It is the people of Odisha who are
Okay.
challenging Naveen Patnaik today.
Okay, so that's quite a long list, and what you're mentioning is most to do with the basic issues, education, health, employment, all that. Quite a long list of allegations as well. I'll come back to you, Mr. Mohanty, but before that, let me bring in our the Congress representative as well. We'll come back to you. You will have all the time to respond to all these allegations. Mr. Rajani Mohanty. The Congress party seems to have lost its sheen over the period of time in the state of Odisha. The organization seems to be in a disarray as well. One, why is that? And two, what kind of position you are seeing, or the Congress party is seeing for itself in the state this time around? Because it looks like the main fight is between BJP and BJD on most of the seats.
Vishal, very good afternoon to you and all the people who are witnessing this program. I wish a very good afternoon to all of you. Let me clarify to you, this might be your presumption, but this is not the presumption of the 4.25 crore people of the state. Let me tell you, the people of the state has already understood what these two parties who were controlling the reign of the state for 9 years, both BJD and BJP had given to the people of the state. And 11 years or 10 or months of years of misrule of the BJD government under the leadership of Naveen Patnaik has not only ruined the economy of the state, has eaten away the vitals of the state.
Okay.
The youth of the state are on the street. there is no education, there is no employment. If employment, that is contractual employment. Everybody is a contract labor. There is no employment. Every state has a maximum age limit, but in our state, we still rule with that 20 years back. There is no opportunity. Government is not opening up the jobs, even though there are 1.34 lakhs of jobs, still till that is pending. Let me tell you, come to the health sector.
Okay.
What the mom has spoken, I do agree with you, but she should remember, 9 years you were with this government. You have not only given anything to the state, rather you being a shareholder of how to destroy the vitals of the state. Today in the health condition of the state is in a bizarre condition.
Okay.
There is no hospital. If the hospitals are there are no doctors, there are no paramedical staffs. Let me tell you, the hospitals whichever have, whatever is functioning in the state, that was during the time of the Congress rule. Not a single institution has been created or developed during the 20 years.
Okay.
Only what happened, let me tell you, what happened, only things happened that you take 500 rupees or 1000 rupees, voters, that is only. Buying the votes of the common people of the state is the agenda of these two people. How to accelerate the economic development of the state and how to make the state a prosperous state is not their agenda.
Let me ask you a direct question. The direct question is, you're talking about a lot of issues and a lot of allegations against both the BJP and the BJD as well. Politically speaking, there have been several desertions from your party in the recent past, and you know, a lot of senior leaders, a lot of local level leaders have also left your party, either gone to the BJP or gone to the BJD. So the first question which I asked you, and I'm repeating it again, how do Congress believes that it will, what kind of place it will have in this electoral battle here in Odisha?
Yes, Vishal, very good question to you. I want to reply it to you. Congress is a very oldest political party, and Congress has no shortage of the representatives or members. My colleagues sitting here, BJP had no people to contest in the 21 Lok Sabha seats and the 147 MLA seats. They only took immediately those who defected from the Congress and joined on the BJP. Next day they have given the chance to contest because they had the shortage of the candidates. We have enough candidates, and Congress is a institution which makes the leader for the tomorrow.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Congress will form the government, wait and see. There is a complete silence. People of the state needs only development. People of the state needs employment. People of the farmers of the state needs their MSP, and farmers of the state needs the agriculture should be.
Hold on. I'll come back to you. Mr. Mohanty. But we have two, independent observers and columnists and senior journalists as well. Let's take their views as well, and then you will have enough time to go ahead and respond to them as well as our audience as well. Let me first come to you, Mr. Bishoy. We have heard, all three representatives of three political parties. All of them are confident about forming the government, winning all the seats. The usual, pre-voting day kind of statements which are coming in, allegations, counter allegations. But in terms of issues, what has been mentioned by all three of them covers almost all basic necessities, be it education, health, employment, and infrastructure. So there seems to be a lot which seems to be there on the mind of the people of Odisha.
I must tell you, I must have to go to the history of this recent past. When this BJP, BJD government came to power in 2000, half of the state was devastated due to cyclone, and the economy was in shambles. So from there they have started, and they have reached to this place. And economically the state has become very strong. At the national level also, the state is very strong, and for the last 1 decade the state is having a revenue surplus budget. And that was not there. At one point of time, the state used to borrow every day to pay the salary of the employees. So now that is not there, and the revenue surplus budget they are presenting for the last 1 decade. And the state has, from a backward state, now it has become a developing state. So there is a development, no doubt. But if you will see, there are so many things to do. Yes, I agree, there are so many things to do. But one should appreciate the development that has taken place during the last 20 years. I am not dividing BJP rule 10 years and only BJD rule 10 years. But the last 20 years, the state has become a developing state, and so many things has happened in the state, and industrially, economically, and politically too. Politically, there has been a lot of maturity in the state.
Okay, okay. Mr. Mishra, what's your viewpoint in terms of what is it that seems to be, sort of there in the mind of the voters of Odisha when they go ahead and cast their vote and then they listen to all these public speeches by the representatives of all political parties, all kind of promises being made. What is it that is the prevalent issues?
People of Odisha, they find improvement in administration. There is improvement because in the past improvement was not there. Administration was very, very poor, precarious. So after this two-party government from 2000 to 2009 and from 2009 to up to date, there is improvement. But improvement is not so bright.
Okay.
Unemployment is cropping up every now and then.
Okay.
Our students are becoming unemployed because we are having a large number of engineering colleges which is producing engineering graduates, and sufficient number of jobs are not there.
Okay.
It is supply side is high and demand for job is very, very less.
Okay.
Therefore, we feel the pinch of unemployment.
Okay, so the unemployment is one of the issues, and there are several other issues as well. Let's now open the forum for audiences here, and let's see what these guys have to respond, and all of you will have the ample opportunity to bring in. You will have the ample opportunity to bring in, because I'm sure the audience will also have the same questions to ask. Let's have questions from the audiences. Let's begin from here. Yes, please.
Rather introducing myself as Saurav, I want to introduce myself as a part of the corrupted educational system of India. Ma'am, we have casted a vote to Modi government just to see the betterment in education. But what did happen, ma'am?
Education, one of the questions. First to Dr. Lekashri, and then obviously since the assembly elections are also in vogue, responsibility lies with the state government as well. We'll have Mr. Mohanty as well. No, but he's directly putting the question to Dr. Lekashri. So let's have response from her first.
Yes. There might have been discrepancies in some exam. That does not mean that the government has failed. It has not failed. In fact, if there is one government that has been able to give good governance to the people and spotless, free of any kind of scam, it is the Modi government. In 5 years there has been no scam. Government is a continuous process. We have had only 5 years to prove ourselves. Before that, it was 10 years of Congress rule in the center, which was ridden by all kinds of scams, starting from Commonwealth, starting from the 3G, starting from the coal block allocation as if it was their personal property. They gave it away to their friends and family. Nothing like that with the BJP government. Modi Sarkar here believes in Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and the money of the people must go back to the people. Everything that has been done on infrastructure, everything that has been done for education, for empowering youth, for Rozgar for the youth. Somebody here was telling me about the jobs. Let me tell you over here, no one has ever said that so many crore jobs will be given. There will be opportunities for employment, and for that opportunities have been created by Startup India, Skilling India, Mudra Yojana. These are all giving massive loans to the unorganized sector without any collateral to people who never dreamt of getting a penny from the bank, and they are now standing on their feet. They are employment generators, whereas Congress government had left them to be employment seekers. And let me finish, please. Let me finish, please. As for the situation in Odisha, or if you take the Biju Janata Dal, the Biju Janata Dal is synonymous with the mining scam, 60,000 crores, synonymous with the chit fund scam, 20,000 crores, synonymous with the Dal scam. They have looted the sand. They are hooked up with the sand mafia, all kinds of mafia in the state. The Congress government, who has forgotten the 90s gundagiri of the Congress?
So
people want good governance.
There's a long list, Dr.
That is why BJP is rising in the state. People want clean governance. People want Narendra Modi. People want Susasan, and people also want employment for the youth. respect for women, and respect for the
Okay.
farmers also.
Okay, okay. I'll come to you. I'll come to you, Mr. Rajani. But let's have response from Mr. Lenin here. Mr. Lenin, education being the most important question which was being asked by our one of the participants in the audience, and then obviously there is a long list which Dr. Lekha Shri is pointing towards the BJD in terms of corruption allegations.
I would like to respond BJP a little bit less because they believe in lies. And I don't have to rebut all the lies that are being spoken by them. They talked about chit fund. Very gloriously they talk about chit fund. But when they try to think about their own party, they look at lens that who is the chit fund accused and whom will they take into their party. You search any of the chit fund accused.
Okay.
They have a real opening. Wait a minute. They have a real opening in any state you talk, wherein they very warmly receive all the chit fund accused.
Okay.
You must be knowing, all my colleagues know, that the unemployment is at a 45-year-old high. और मोदी जी क्या बोले थे? जो 2 करोड़ नौकरी देंगे, and now they are justifying that आप पकौड़ा बेच लो और वो भी एक job है. We don't believe in that.
Okay.
We don't believe in that. They now justify their giving their jobs by telling about Skill India.
Okay.
When we talk about the same skilling and that we have skilled 9 lakh youths, then they raise questions.
Okay.
There are multiple questions
Okay.
which they need to answer.
Let's have the Congress representative as well. Yes, yes, Mr. Rajani, your turn. What is it that
Vishal-
you propose to do as far as education and employment is concerned?
Let me, Vishal, I want to clarify. I have heard the spokesperson of the BJP and the BJD. Both have probably given a lot many scope to me to speak. From 2000 onwards, you ask to anybody who are sitting here, or you go to any remotest part of the state, ask to anybody in our school, starting to the primary to high school education or in our college education. Let me very honest to my state and honest to the people of my state.
Okay.
There are no teachers. If teachers, contractual teachers who are paid only 4,000 rupees, and in a year 6 months they are on the main road, they are on the PMG square
Okay.
to only draw the attention of my government. Please give me something to manage my family, to live with a dignity.
Okay.
This is this that.
So this is this.
listen.
Okay.
One. Point two, come to the college education. The here in Bhubaneswar BJP college is a very important and renowned college. You go, there are 70% teachers are not available in any discipline.
Okay.
All students are going to the coaching institution
Okay.
for their academic purpose. Now you may ask them, 20 years is not sufficient to transform the educational sector of the state, and they are thinking that state has grown. Let me tell you, in a state where the human resources are in precarious condition, can that state grow?
Okay.
Today
Quite-
you are here
quite-
because you are educated and you are a skilled person. Let me tell you what they told, that Congress regime was full of scam. 5 years of the Modi rule, they could not able to prove what is 2G, what is 3G, what is 4G.
Let me bring in Mr. Kulmani Mishra here before I go back to the audiences. And Mr. Mishra, this is specifically on the question of education, infrastructure in the state of Odisha and the employment opportunities. What is it that your analysis is in terms of what the state government has done, what the central government has done, and what the people want here?
We are having so many of schools, primary schools in and around in every street.
Okay.
This basti A, B, C, D, middle is E. Half kilometer distance.
Okay.
Politicians, what they do to satisfy the vote bank, they open one primary school in every basti
Okay.
without providing a teacher, and that school can be managed in the central E school.
Okay.
1/2 kilometer or 1 kilometer distance, they are having 5 schools.
So shortage of trained teachers is one major issue.
Because of one each is there in one school. If you merge all the schools in one school and give, if it is a very long distance,
Okay.
give them
Okay.
transportation allowance to the
Okay,
student.
I got your point. Shortage of teachers, that's one. Mr. Bishoy, yes, quickly.
Despite of all the shortcomings at the primary and secondary level, Odisha is become a education hub during the last 20 years.
And there are quite a lot of talented people
I'm
from
telling you,
Odisha.
more than 100 engineering colleges have come up.
Okay.
About 10 MBA colleges have come up.
Okay.
Including IIM also with Sambalpur and
Okay.
IIT, and there are about 10 medical colleges that has come up during the last
Okay.
20 years. And I will tell you, the Odisha student, particularly engineering student, virtually ruling all the big software companies in the country.
Okay.
Though there is, if you are saying that Odisha education is lacking, I don't believe.
Okay, so there are different views as well. Let's now go back to the audiences and let's dedicate the rest of the show to the audiences. I can see quite a lot of hands. Let's begin from that corner. Yeah, you have the mic, please. Hold on. Yes, you have the mic, please. Yeah, the one who has the mic. Yeah.
So this is Tarun Kumar Mohanty. I want to know from all the panelists, we have not put any emphasis on agriculture sector till now. Free bomb is a major issue during the election times. Belonging from a farmer's family, I just want to know from all the dignitaries, can these free bombs will solve the agrarian crisis that is found in Odisha?
Okay, that's a very, very important question, and I'll quickly come to you since, and I would request that please respond in 2 minutes each. Let me begin with you, Mr. Lenin. Your government began a scheme, the Kalia scheme. But despite that, if you look at the level of agrarian crisis in the state of Odisha, it is very acute, is very high. How do you propose to go ahead and deal with this issue? Will you go ahead and push the Kalia scheme further, or do you have something else in mind in terms of answering the question which my colleague has here from the audience?
That was a really nice question, but I would just like to say that there is an agrarian crisis across the country, and that is why my leader Sri Naveen Patnaik very clearly said, after the BJP lost 3 states, Congress won 3 states, immediately he said that there is a crisis, there is an agri crisis, and after that came Kalia. But prior to that, there was a systematic attempt for a large scale development of agriculture, because that is the most important mainstay of the state. Naturally, although we are trying to also groom the service sector, we had a separate agri budget for the state. Okay. We worked on focused sectors right from 2012. We are continuing till now, but the Kalia program is an augmentation program, okay, wherein the farmers in 2 cropping season, they will be provided some fundings wherein they can buy seeds, they can use it for crop production, okay, and they can go ahead. The only advantage that Kalia has over PM Kisan Yojana is that it takes care of the sharecroppers, it takes care of the landless laborers, it takes care of all those people who are involved in the agricultural sector.
Okay.
Besides that, we are also kind of building ourselves, okay, in a technological format. We are trying to, you see, Odisha was a state which in 1999 okay, was asking rice from other states. Now we are the 3rd highest rice producing state. Okay. We are the 7th highest fruit producing state. Okay. So naturally, lot of things are happening in the state regarding the agriculture.
Let's bring in Dr. Lekha Shri. Dr. Lekha Shri, a very important question, and since your party has run the government at the center for 5 years as well, there have been steps which have been taken. The scheme which you will mention is the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme. But if you look at Odisha specifically, what is it that your party is offering? Because you also intend to go ahead and make the government in the state of Odisha if elected.
See, you have to give me 2 minutes for this.
Yes, please.
First of all, the agricultural population in the state is, the farmers are more than 70%, but their contribution to the GSDP, the GDP of the state, is only 16%. Naveen Babu's government, since the last 4 elections, has been promising, first in 2000 in their manifesto 25% irrigation, then in the next election another 35 over and above the 25, in the next election another 35%, it all amounted to more than 80%. Okay. Then he changed track, and in 2014 they said 10 lakh hectares and irrigation in all 314 blocks of Odisha. But the reality is, which Naveen Babu has admitted in the assembly, that only 18% of agricultural land has been able to be irrigated in 20 years of his rule.
So what is your party going to do about it?
I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. And under the accelerated irrigation benefits scheme of the central government, there are 20 irrigation projects which have overrun the time schedule, which have overrun the cost schedule, and which was supposed to be over in 2 or 3 years have now gone on for 20 years, 25 years. And I believe that it is intentional on the part of Navin Babu's government not to complete these projects so that they can benefit from the cost escalation. As far as the Kalia Yojana is concerned, it's a ragtag Yojana put together in a hurry, because they did not have budgetary sanction for it. They did not have financial allocation for it. They did not have a proper list of farmer beneficiaries. Even today, Navin Babu's government does not know who are the different categories of farmers of the state, who's a landowner, who's a sharecropper, who's a farming laborer. They do not know. They put together a list which was full of their ministers, their MLAs, their relatives, and all such kind of people. So far, let me just finish. Let me just finish. So far as Congress is concerned, they are talking about loan waivers. Let me remind them that their attempts at loan waiving in Karnataka has failed, in Chhattisgarh has failed, in Punjab has failed. They have been unable to meet whatever promises they have made to the people. So these were promises made in a hurry just to get votes, and it has fallen flat.
Let's listen in from Mr. Rajni. Mr. Rajni, specific and concise answer on the agri crisis and whether or not the promise or the scheme of loan waivers will eventually resolve this issue.
Let me tell you, Vishal, it's a very big and pertinent question for the state. Before 2000, I would like to let you know, the state, we had not only given the MSP to the farmers, we had also the storage facilities, that is the cold storage. In each and every district, we had the cold storage. Today, there is no cold storage. Whatever the cold storage was built by the Congress party, that has been closed down by the present regime. Both were the shareholder of 9 years and they alone are the 10 years. So that is the contribution of theirs to the agricultural sector for the farmers, where the farmers will store their output. So one point. Second point is, we had, apart that, we had also agro-based industry. Ask everybody, there were number of sugarcane industry. Every sugarcane industry has been closed down by themselves, by these two people or by these two parties who are in the power and who are in power, and they sold it to the private party for their own gain. Now, if Congress will come to the power, Congress has promised to the farmers 3 important things. One, immediately, if the loan amount is up to 2 lakhs, immediately it will be waived. Farmers will be given financial support continuously for 5 years. A solar pump set will be given, and irrigation support will be, irrigation facility will be given to each and every acres of land. Cold storage will be again opened up and will be constructed in each and every village. District level functionaries will be employed and appointed to look into the farmer sector, and agro-based industry will be linked for the farmers to increase their output and to get a better price. And moreover, MSP for paddy has been declared by the AICC President Rahul Gandhi as well as the State Congress President, 2,600 per quintal.
Quite a lot of promises, Mr. Rajni, quite a lot of promises. Yes, Mr. Lenin, quickly.
I am surprised that they are seeking votes not in their own strength, because they don't have any strength. They don't have any objectives wherein they can tell that we will do this thing. They are kind of manufacturing lies. My great friend suddenly told they established cold storage in every district. That is the biggest joke of 2019.
Let's move on to other issues as well. We have spoken about education, we have spoken about agriculture. Yes, my dear friend there, who has the mic?
I have a point on agriculture.
Yeah, hold on, I'll come back to you. Yeah, let's have one more question.
So we are the people of Odisha are very poor, and we are living in a rich state, and that is the biggest failure of this government. In 20 years they have failed. If 20 cold storage they can build, I can give the credit to this government, but they are very much failed in agriculture, education. If you can go to the university.
I understand. What is the question?
My question is, if this government is very much capable, then if you can see that there is a contractual employment in the states, they are getting only 8,000 per month, and if in this expensive market, how can these youths can live their life in this 8,000 rupees per month.
Okay, I get your point. Any other question, please? Yes, out there.
Private sector employees, the pension scheme for unorganized, the government, central government has announced some sort of pension scheme, but for private sector, they are not getting any. Although there is Kerala High Court and Supreme Court orders
Okay.
recently.
Let's address these questions about the private sector employees. There's a lot of sort of anxiety within the private sector employees as to what will happen to their jobs if at all the company doesn't do well, so their future as well. What is it that your parties have on the agenda for the people here in Odisha on these issues?
When there is a 45-year high unemployment rate in the whole country, the whole individuals are perplexed and they are in a fearful state of mind.
Okay.
And how can we kind of segregate the private sector employees from these people who are
Okay.
expecting jobs?
Okay, Dr. Lekhashri.
So far as employment is concerned, the Modi government is the only government which has addressed the issues of the unorganized sector. Before 2014, there was no one talking about the unorganized sector, about the thelawala, about the guy who was repairing the shoes. Modi government gave the Mudra Yojana where without collateral you could get loans. There is Skill India. What is Skill India about? What is Startup India about? Modi ji has told every single time he addresses youth, he says,
Okay.
I want you to be job generators, not job seekers.
Okay.
You be a job generator and give employment to 50 people or 100 people.
Okay.
We cannot always look up to the government to provide jobs. Yes, we can look up to the government to provide a business ambience,
Okay.
to provide opportunities for business.
Okay.
But if you talk about Odisha, nothing has been done in the front of agriculture or service sector or industry. Where will the jobs come from? 26 lakh youth registered with the employment exchange, only 22,000 got
Okay.
jobs. This is what Naveen Patnaik government is saying that this is what they have done.
Let's
100 MOUs were signed.
Okay.
100 MOUs were signed. Only 3 of them could be operational.
Okay, Dr. Lekhashri. Okay, let's listen to other 3 panelists as well.
Listen,
Let me bring in Mr. Rajni here. Yes.
The question is very pertinent. Some of the probably unemployed youth has asked, some of the unemployed youth of the state has asked, how can a youth run his family and maintain his extended family with 8,000 rupees? Let me tell you, if Congress voted to power, we will stop this contractual employment where the state government is taking 9,000 crore commission per year. 9,000 crore commission per year. That will be stopped and it will be again investigated who are the people involved in it. Again, 1,34,00,000 job which were in the government will be immediately opened up, and the maximum age limit, the maximum age limit of the educated youth will be 40 years.
Okay.
Next,
Okay.
for the unorganized sector,
no,
let me
Mr.
tell you.
We're running short of time. You have spoken about earlier as well. Let's go back to the audience. Yeah, I have some hands in the back there. Yes, there is another mic. Yeah, whoever has the mic. Yes, please.
सर मेरा नाम तुषार सामंतरा है और मैं जर्नलिज्म के एक छात्र हूँ।
Yeah, please.
मेरा क्वेश्चन लेखाश्री मैम और कांग्रेस की प्रवक्ता से है। आप जब लोकसभा की इलेक्शन आती है तो आप बोलते हैं हमारा मोदी जी हमारा पीएम कैंडिडेट है और राहुल गांधी जी हमारा पीएम कैंडिडेट है। तो जब उड़ीसा की असेंबली इलेक्शन आती है तो आप क्यों नहीं बोल रहे हैं कि हमारा सीएम कैंडिडेट कौन है? आप बीजेपी बोल रहे हैं, बीजेपी अपने कैंडिडेट।
Very important question, and you know this brings the entire focus back on the politics as well. And since both BJP and Congress has to respond to it, let me begin with Dr. Lekhashri. You know, quite a number of times it has been asked as to who will lead the party if you will form the government in the state, which your party's leaders are claiming that you're coming to power. So why not announce a chief ministerial candidate in advance?
See, our leader at the center is definitely Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi. He is not only the leader of the country, he is the leader of the state, he is a global leader. So far as picking a chief ministerial candidate is concerned, we have not gone with a chief ministerial face, but that does not mean that we do not have a chief ministerial face. In fact, we have several chief ministerial faces which our leaders have spoken of at different points of time.
Okay.
We have leaders who are more than capable of leading the state, who are heads and shoulders above the present BJD chief minister. There are people in Bharatiya Janata Party who can speak Odia and communicate with the Odia
Would you-
people.
would you want
whereas
to
the
name
Chief
some?
Minister, yes, we have 2 union ministers. We have Joel Oram and Dharmendra Pradhan.
But none
we
of them
have,
is contesting assembly elections.
No, it does not matter. It does not. It does not matter.
Because they don't have a constitution.
Mr.
her respond.
I think that is a very unfortunate thing for a political person to say. If you were a political person, then you would not be saying something like they do not have a constituency. Everyone has a constituency.
Okay.
If we are talking to 4 people, then they become our constituency. That
Okay.
is what I believe.
Okay.
If we communicate with the people, then they are our constituency.
Okay.
It
So-
is Naveen Babu who cannot communicate with the people,
so
who
what
does
you're
not
saying
speak
is-
the language of the
When
people.
BJD is
How
being dragged,
can
I
he
have to
be?
get in.
No,
No,
hold on,
See,
doctor. Hold on, Mr. Lenin.
we
Hold on.
have 2 union ministers, we have 1 state president, we have 1 leader of the opposition, we have other national level
Okay.
leaders.
So there are
we
severals.
We have 1 vice president of national BJP at the center.
Okay.
We have other
So
state
there are-
level
there are-
leaders.
I got your
former
point.
ministers.
I got your point, Dr.
Any of
Lekashri.
them can be a chief minister.
Dr.
And
Lekashri, no,
moreover,
hold on, Dr. Lekashri.
moreover,
I got your point. Let us hear from
this is a party where a chaiwala could become prime minister. So tomorrow even I can be chief minister. You can also be chief minister of Bharatiya Janata Party if you are a dedicated karyakarta, if you believe in our ideology, if you believe in the development of the state, then
Okay.
you are a fit candidate
Okay.
to be chief minister of the state.
Congress's viewpoint on that. Why not have a chief ministerial face?
Vishal, very good question to from your side, and I must salute you. If Congress voted to the power in the state, Srijukta Niranjan Patnaik will be the chief minister of the state, and who had long-standing experience in administering as a cabinet minister of the state.
Is that the party decision? Because none of the senior party leaders have announced his name.
Let me tell you, he had been projected as the party president. Under his leadership, the Congress is fighting the election, and definitely the elected members will choose him as the party president.
Okay, let's see.
As the-
Let's
as the-
see.
as the chief
Okay,
not
let's
sure
see.
they will choose
Hold on,
him.
hold on,
No,
hold on.
no, no,
hold
I
on.
want to know,
Mr.
is
Lenin,
that the
we
official
should get a
line?
chance to
No,
Mr.
I
Lenin,
want to
hold
know,
on.
is
Mr.
that the
Lenin, hold on.
official
You have a
line?
chief ministerial candidate.
Is
I get
that
your
the
point.
official
No, no,
line?
hold on,
Now
hold
you
on.
have
Let's move on to the next question, and we will get to know whether Mr. Niranjan Patnaik's announcement, which has been made by the party spokesperson here, will hold water if the Congress manages to win the assembly elections here. Yes, who has the mic there? Yes, please.
So my name is Soumyaranjan Das. Sir, I have seen that in the last 2 months, political leaders are changing their party from one party to another party. Sir, when they have served so many years from a party and they are not committed to any clear ideology, sir, as a youth, how will we ensure that after changing a party they will do good work? And
Okay.
is it the reason?
Quite an interesting
Sir,
question.
please. Sir,
Quite an interesting question. We got your question. Quite an interesting one. And let me begin not with the political parties. Let me begin with Mr. Bisoi there to try and understand.
parties should
Yeah,
speak.
I will come to you. But let me try and understand, Mr. Bisoi. Is this a phenomena which is a recent one, or has this been happening in the state of Odisha all those years, that when the elections come, there will be several leaders who will move from this party, that party, or is it that this time around this is happening in large numbers? That is why it's being noticed.
Historically, Orissa politics is known for Ayaram Gayaram, but this year, this election, it is in huge phenomenon, and I was surprised when I saw that today morning somebody is saying I will get the ticket, and the evening he is joining some other party, and today somebody has taken the ticket, and in the evening he returned the ticket and joined another party. So this has happened. This I will tell you why this has happened.
Okay.
One is that the BJD has become a very big party.
Okay.
Really, in the last 20 years, it become very strong and
Okay.
big party. Number one.
uh-huh.
Number two, BJP has come with lot of resources, lot of organizational capacity, and all these things. So they started giving an alternative. So there was a inflow and outflow of
Okay,
leaders
so
from these two parties.
That is why things are happening. That was Mr. Mishra. Mr. Kulmani Mishra, quick response from you on this phenomena of leaders moving from one party to the other.
Actually, when someone doesn't get a ticket from one party and the party sees winnability of the candidate, the other person is dissatisfied and leaves the party.
Okay.
It is natural
Uh-huh.
because he has the aspiration to contest the election. Therefore, wherever he gets the ticket, he lives for that party.
Okay, Mr. Lenin, let me first come to you from the political representatives, because your party seems to have lost quite a number of, workers and leaders to the BJP in the recent past, including some senior leaders.
Visalji, it happens in politics that seeing the winnability, somebody changes party. But there are many people who are beyond this. We might be differing in our political approach. I might be differing from my sister Lekhasri madam on many other issues. But I was aspiring for a ticket. I didn't get one, but I am still in BJD. And to my knowledge, she was also aspiring, and she is still in her party. She is in BJP. There are many choices.
Then why
But
did you
there are
lose?
people-
Why did you lose so
No,
many leaders?
No, it depends on aspirations. It depends on the process. It also depends on an individual's yearning. Sir told about Ayaram and Gayarams. I believe that there are many Ayaram and Gayaram. There are lesser Lenins and Lekhasris, but you should appreciate there are many people who don't change their party.
Okay.
They are with their ideologies.
Okay, Dr. Lekhasri, when we talked about that BJP has emerged as a challenger, one of the allegations which both your opponents here, Congress and BJD, has made in the past as well, that you have got leaders from their parties, you have given them tickets. So internally also it might not be a sort of a very good signal to the loyal party workers.
Vishalji, first of all, I'd like to say that BJP is like an iceberg. We are 9 parts rooted and only 1 part is showing above. So we have a very strong ideological base. We are very confident of what we want to do for society. We are not fly-by-night operators. We have not come here to be in power. We have come here to serve the people. This party is based on the ideology of Antodaya. The last person in the line in society has to come to the mainstream. That is what we are working for. So when people come, whatever opportunities they see, it is basically a fine balance between the aspirations of the party as well as the aspirations of the person. If somebody feels that they have more opportunity with us, they are coming. And if party feels that this is a perfect opportunity to take advantage of that person's popularity, maybe we can win this seat, which otherwise we would have not. So we are giving them an opportunity. But this party is based on the dedication, hard work and sacrifice of millions of karyakartas like me who are holding the party together. It does not matter who comes from where. We recognize talent. We will give people their due space. And this is a party which will ultimately work for the people. It does not matter who comes from where.
Let's take a quick response from Mr. Rajani Mohanty of the Congress, because Congress in the recent past has been hit, the most by this politics of Ayaram and Gayaram in the state of Odisha. Mr. Mohanty, you've lost quite a number of leaders and workers to both the BJD and the BJP. That has been one major issue.
Very pertinent question. Definitely those people who are defecting one political party where they have grown up and they have got the identity and jumping to another political party to protect their own wealth and to protect their own assets, and for that reason, if they are going not for the cause of the state, not for the cause of the constituency of the people, then they are not the true leaders. And most of the people who have jumped from the Congress and taken shelter either in BJD or BJP for their personal gain, not for the political gain of the state, not for the political gain of their constituency. They are completely the people who believe only their own interest. They are the people who only believe how to safeguard their own health.
Let's, we are coming towards the end of the show, but let's give more chances to the audiences here. Let's have quick questions. Yes,
I'm Dr. Manas Ranjan Pandey. I'm working as a professor of English. You see, in a private sector, till the date we haven't heard a single sentence from any political party so far as the present election is concerned. They didn't say anything about pollution.
That's a very important one. That's a very important one. Let's first talk about pollution. We can talk about allegations and counter allegations maybe later on as well. But pollution is a very, very big issue, and it is an issue all through the country. Is it the same situation here in Odisha as well? Because the voters are concerned about it. Mr. Lenin.
It's a joint effort by the government of the day and the citizens of the state. We have been working hard over this issue for quite a long time. It has been there in our manifesto. Even in this manifesto, we have placed it both not only on pollution, also on water. We have tried to look into the fact that the people of the state lead a healthy life.
Okay, Dr. Lekhashri, quickly.
In Odisha, the Talcher, Angul, Dhenkanal cluster, as well as the Jharsuguda, Ib Valley, that industrial cluster are the worst affected in the country. The worst affected in terms of pollution. Also the Jajpur area worst affected so far as air and water pollution are concerned. The government of the day in Odisha, Biju Janata Dal, has only been hands and glove with the mining mafia, who have resorted to illegal looting. No attention has been paid to any kind of pollution control. In fact, the State Pollution Control Board had at many times rebuked the parties and the mining companies.
We get your point.
When it comes to Supreme Court, can say cite one scripture.
We are running short of time, so let's not get into
The
details.
Pollution Control Board has time and again stopped your mind.
The point is, let's bring in Mr. Rajani from here. Mr. Rajani, pollution, the issue and the response by your party on that, because the voters say they have not heard even a word from you guys.
Definitely, it is a very big and pertinent question. Definitely pollution is a major issue and a major threat for the next generation or by 2025. If my party will be voted to the power, then we will take stringent action against the polluting industries and we will ensure them they should perform as per the global standard for minimizing the pollution. Second, social forestry will be increased to a great extent by which pollution level can be decreased.
Let's go back to the audience. I would, since we are running short of time, this would be the last question or so. If there is any first-time voter who wants to ask a question, any first-time voter, I can see a lot of hands there.
My name is Abhishek. So as we are running short of time, so let's keep this discussion very objective, not subjective. Okay. So my question is to the ruling party. In your 2014 manifesto, you have mentioned that we'll train students and give them employment. So there was a figure, we'll train 8 lakh students. We'll train 8 lakh students, and during the start of the discussion, you said we had trained 9 lakh students. But according to document in your website, it has mentioned we have trained 83,000.
I get your point. What's the question?
So coming to the point is, you have trained 83,000, but only 13,000 of them are employed. So how can you say that your training is up to the mark? First of all, you are missing your target of 8 lakh and you are training 83, and out of 83, only 13,000 are placed.
I get your point. Yes, a quick response, then we'll go back to the audience.
We have been awarded by this center for Skilled in Odisha program. We have skilled 9 lakh youth. Ultimately, we have given a lot of jobs out of the skilled people. And to tell you, my friends, regarding the plus part of the whole thing, the women-led startups are doing wonders in this state. You might not appreciate,
I get your point.
You might appreciate, but the government
Mr. Mohanty, we are very short of time. Let's have more questions there. Yes.
My name is Shreya Mazumdar.
Okay.
So things have been done for the poor. Things are getting done automatically for the rich. What about the middle class? What is the middle class getting?
Okay, wonderful. That's the question, and I will add mine to that, the issue of women empowerment and the women's security as well. A quick response from all the panelists here, and then we'll call it a day. Mr. Lenin, but let's make it quick. 1 minute each.
As you said, lot of things are happening for the people at the lower segment. Lot of things are happening automatically at the higher segment, but many things are being taken care of for the people in the middle segment. You talk about Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana, middle class are included in that. You talk about any education hub, because Bhubaneswar is an education hub now. You get benefit, the middle class get benefits. You talk about education, middle class get benefits. You talk about, when we talk about inclusive growth, the middle class is also included.
You have responded to the middle class aspect of it. Right. What about women's safety? Because there have been allegations in the recent past, there have been incidents in the recent past as well in terms of law and order. Odisha was never the state where law and order was much of a problem, but in the recent past, your opponents say that this has been a problem in the state. So how do you tackle it?
Look, opponents' work is to go for creative and constructive criticism. The plight of Odisha is, we have opposition parties, those who take care of themselves. They don't have any constructive criticism. I will tell you, they have selected one candidate who went inside the election campus and broke the machines yesterday, having 3 murder case, 3 rioting case, 3 explosive act case, This is the order of the day. When they try to pinpoint, वो अपना गिरेवान पे पहले देखना चाहिए, उसके बाद दूसरे पार्टी का और तरफ अंगूठी दिखाना के लिए कोशिश करेंगे.
Let's have Dr. Lekha Shri. Two aspects, Dr. Lekha Shri, for the middle class and women's safety.
Just one sentence I'll say about what Mr. Mohanty from BJD told, is that today the worst thing that is affecting the government in the state is that there is complete politicization of the government officers. Now the district collectors are acting as BJD's district presidents. The district SP is acting as the BJD district general secretary, right down to the returning officer, the officers in charge of the polling booth.
Let's come back to
they are all
the middle class
forced to do the agenda of BJD. As far as the women are concerned, BJP believes in providing absolute security to women. When we brought in the triple talaq, it was about middle class Muslim women of the minority classes, that they should have freedom. We brought in fast track courts for people for rapists of minor girls. They should be hanged. That is our agenda. Capital punishment for those abusing minor girls. We have brought in basically what I was saying from the beginning. The Mudra Yojana is specifically for the middle class. The Skill India, Startup India, that is for the aspirational class.
Okay, we are running short of time. Dr. Lekha Shri, let's have a response from the Congress counterpart.
I assure you, if Congress will be voted to the power, that the middle class people, all middle class people will, first of all, will give employment to each and every household, which we have promised. Both, first of all, the government job, which is 1,34,000 jobs. Definitely 1,34,000 family will be benefited. Will it not be benefited? Second, the farmers will be benefited. Agro-based industry will be linked, by which is somewhere the middle class people will be benefited.
Thank you.
Second,
Mr.
for women,
it comes back to all the basic issues about education, about health, about employment and basic infrastructure. When we talk about elections in Odisha, which is for 147 assembly seats and 21 Lok Sabha seats, the people here, the voters, have all these questions to ask to the representatives of the political parties before they elect their representatives, which will be declared on 23rd of May. Meanwhile, Rajya Sabha TV and we will continue this journey of ours throughout the nation, and we will be in some other state with representatives of political parties there and the voters as well, to bring to you the details of what is happening on the ground. Till then, keep watching Rajya Sabha Television.